a bit of an unusual video today. These are actually my prescription. I finally got some that work. I've said that in a previous video. I have a problem with light density. I have to have polarized shades. These clip on to said glasses thusly. And these glasses are filthy, so I'm getting ready to clean them while I'm talking to you. Let me take these back off. They go in a case like this. Let me explain a deal to you here about all that. Let me put these in my I got on cargo shorts and a Wrangler pocket t-shirt. I like the Wrangler shirts because they're I get my gun out of the holster so I'm not squeezing myself to death trying to get to a lens wipe. Yeah, I'm carrying a shooter, my favorite one. There it is. Yep, that's it. Replete with the dime and the fully silver dime glued to the handle. It tells my middle finger where to rest when I'm firing it. It's a left-handed gun. Even the, well, I'll show you the handles. I made the handles myself. You notice it's thinner on that side. That's because it fits up like that, and then the right index of the middle finger goes above the dime. The ring finger fits on it. The reason I did that is for control on shooting the gun. I've had that 3840 revolver since I was 11 years old. My late father gave it to me. He taught me to shoot. Hang on a second, folks. I've got to turn this on. Woo, that light's bright. Oh man, that's hurting my eyes, but I'll turn it back off here in a minute. That's good enough. Let me set that back. Get my illustrious back scratcher. I love back scratchers because I'm itchy like an old bear. Anyway, getting to what I was actually going to talk about, I had another one of these. It's either a number 52 or number 54. They normally have a little stick. Oh, this is a 52. If you can see it, it says 52 on the nose piece. I went into Walmart. I had some of these that fit. They're not exactly the same shape. I just like it to fit the frame of my eyeglasses. The frame I've got, I have these frames are not stainless steel, they're not pewter, they're sterling silver. That's why I like having them, because if all else fails, I can melt it down and have something worth money. No, they are silver frames. They're not shiny. They can polish up shiny. They're probably not sterling. They're probably closer to like 70%, maybe 60% silver. But the reason I have them is they don't turn green on me. And all the other metal frames I've had turn green. Anyway, I went into Walmart. I had some of these that fit great, and I think I had them in my pocket, hip pocket, in some bibbed overalls. Maybe it was in a pocket in my other cargo pants. I've got cargo shorts. I've got 2 pairs of black cargo shorts, 1 pair of light, what they call light blonde cargo shorts, and a pair of dark tan cargo shorts for wearing in the summer. And I had the dark tan ones. They're almost brown. And I think I had it in one of the sides. I carry down on the side pockets, the long side pockets, I carry my cell phone, this one, the big cell phone. I carry the flip phone, this one, in my shirt pocket, and I carry a hearing aid. I'm going to use this wipe to clean that screen protector off on my phone. That thing's filthy. Not that you'd notice, I guess the flies buzzing around it are a clue. But anyway, I went in 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and I was with, let's see, it was Friday. This is Monday. It was last Friday. I went in with my son Nick, and I literally looked at every clip-on that they had at Walmart to see if I could find another set that fit my eyeglasses. Now, why would I do that? Well, for one thing, they make some shaped exactly for those glasses, but they want $29 a pair for them online, and I'm not paying that for something that is going to get lost anyway. Now, these glasses do transition in sunlight, and I can have this hat on instead of one of my wide-brimmed hats, and they'll turn dark. If I'm in a car and the window's down, they'll turn dark. But for regular driving with the AC on and windows up, they won't transition through the windshield. Oh, excuse me. So I went in there, and Friday I went through every single pair of clip-ons that would even come close to being for these glasses. They got like 300 pairs in there, and I didn't find any that fit. I tried several 52s and 54s, but the problem is they bent down like that, and there were triangles of light coming in and hit my eyes. And so day before yesterday, which was Saturday, we went back and I did it again. Nicholas, my son Nick, was very patient. He waited, and I went through every one of them, and I finally found one. I could tell by looking that they wouldn't fit because they were bent down like that. But I found a pair of 52s, which I've got in my pocket in the case, and I took them out and I put them on, and lo and behold, they fit. And so, not so that anyone would think I was trying to steal them, I put them back in the case and paid for them, and then put them on outside. But that brings me to something that bothers me. So many people don't see a thing wrong with stealing, with shoplifting. They want it, they don't have the money, or they don't want to spend the money getting it. One of the things I found in there while I was going through all those, roughly probably 20, maybe more, of these little plastic cases like this were empty. People had taken the clip-ons out of the plastic cases. The cheapest ones they've got in there are $9, and the average was $15 up to $19 to $21. These cost $12.97, and I'm very willing. And if they'd have had two sets of them, I'd have bought two. If they didn't, and the reason I say they didn't, I went through every one and finally started trying them on the glasses frame and found the one set. Now, sooner or later, my son Nick and I will, probably this coming Friday when he's off work before he has to work Saturday. He's off work on Fridays. Friday is the 4th of July. Probably will not go very far from the house on the 4th of July, and I will tell you why in a minute. I'll probably go and see if I can find another one just to absolutely see if I can get a second set, because I break things, I lose things. I get so absent-minded when I'm involved in taking care of stuff for the family and other things. I just forget. I absolutely get distracted. I'm an old man. I'm in my 70s. I'm not well physically. I really am not. I'm feeling better today than I have in a long time, but normally I'm not doing too well. Today is a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was horrible. Today I'm doing good. And a lot of that, if not all of that, is due to prayer. Yesterday was church. My son Nick and I went to church. We had a good time. Now, every 5th Sunday, every month that has a 5th Sunday in it, our church has a meet and greet, a fellowship dinner. And normally I would have stayed, but the last 2 times they've had that, well, yesterday, the time before, yeah, I stayed late. Time before that I didn't. Yesterday we didn't. It wasn't due to being too busy. Nick was not feeling well and I was not feeling well, so we left. But I'm getting off track here. Let me get back to what I'm saying. Now, if any of you want to see what I post on my church, it's just simply called The Church, is what it's called. And I film the Sunday school class and I film the main service. And I post them on YouTube. But here is what I want to talk about. So many people do not see, well, Walmart's rich, they can afford whatever they want to get. They shouldn't have all that money. Well, that's really not up to you to decide, guys. You know, there is a God. He has issued a commandment. Don't steal. Simple. Don't covet that which is your neighbor's. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't murder. Don't commit adultery. Don't commit fornication. Have God above all others. Love yourself and love others as yourself, and love God with all your mind, might, and strength. And the second's like to it, love your others as you love yourself. And upon these 2 commandments hang all the other commandments. And that is true. It is. We're down here to learn to love properly. That is what we're doing. We're learning to love properly. And we, I have a friend, I'm not going to give a name. I've known this friend for a long time. This friend transitioned from male to female. A lot of people consider that sinful. My personal attitude on this, it is not up to me to judge anybody, especially me. I mean, most of you wouldn't make a wart on my posterior as far as sinning goes. You wouldn't. We're all sinners, but I'm trying not to be, and I do love Jesus. I love Yeshua ben Miriam, Joshua the son of Mary, with all my heart. I do, and I love my wife with all my heart. And I love my children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews and cousins and friends with all my heart. That is how it works for me. And like I told my friend in private chat, I love the person, not the gender. That's between that person and God, not that person and me. That is honestly how I feel about it. You have to understand this life is temporary. It really and truly is. It is getting ready to absolutely fall apart. And that is why it's important now to try to be obedient to our Father in heaven. It really is. Jesus made the statement one time, I will forgive who I will, but for you, you are to forgive 70 times 70. Now, was he saying 4,900 times? No. What he was saying in mathematics at that time, that was an infinite number. It really was. It is up to us to forgive, truly. Really and truly it is. You are making a real bad mistake if your attitude is just to walk around judging everybody, having a chip the size of my printer on your shoulder, throwing fits and being rude to people. That's not your right. Well, it's your right. God gives us our agency, the freedom to choose. But what you're doing is you're hurting yourself. When you hate someone, you're hurting yourself. You're not hurting anyone else. Physically, you might hurt someone if you're a hater, like the guy that shot 11 firefighters in Idaho and killed 2 of them. I haven't checked on the internet today. I've not been online. I've been in here working on things for about 2 hours now. And I'm going to upload this to my personal channel, and I might slip it to a couple of friends on private message on Facebook. But the problem is, stop being an idiot. Stop being rude. Stop being hateful. Stop being extremely judgmental. Judge not lest ye be judged, for the judge standeth at the door. And that is the truth, and it is really and truly getting ready to come home. Times are getting ready to get a lot scarier than they are now. You might not believe that. They are. Evil has a hold on this planet. And the father of lies, Satan, Lucifer, God's most beautiful son in heaven, that's who he was. He wanted to take the place of his father. He wanted to be the ruler of all. That is oversimplification, but that is the truth. But he hates you. If you're mortal, he hates you. He was so beautiful and so persuasive, he took 1/3 of the hosts of heaven with him when he rebelled. Now, if you want to learn about all that, crack open your Bible. I use the King James Version, Old Testament, New Testament. Is the Bible infallible? There have been mistakes in it, but it's redundant. What do I mean by that? If you study it, and I don't mean just read it, you study it, you will see that it addresses everything and it corrects the mistakes. And if you study it prayerfully, you will get that which you need to get through this life without suffering. You know, you have to take life's little pleasures. You do. There is a huge push by the forces of evil to conquer the forces of good, the forces of darkness to shut off the light. It has been ongoing forever, and it's still ongoing. So what you have to do is pick a side. There are some immediate benefits to choosing the dark side. You don't have to you can do whatever you want and not be obedient to your Creator, your Maker. Go out, do all the whoring you want to, all the doping you want to, all the drinking you want to, all the stealing you want to, all the killing you want to, and you might get away with it in this life. But folks, you're not going to get away with it after you die. That I can promise you. Now, how can I make that statement? This will be new information to some of you, and family and friends know this, but I've been dead several times. I have. I'm basically terminally ill. I have a condition called Lazarus syndrome. I die periodically. It's been a while since I have. And my doctors, I had a specialist tell me what will end up happening is one of these days you'll just stop and you won't come back. I'm not going to go into a lot, but I will say it's really nice over there. I have a friend, Daniel Brinkley. You can look him up. There's a guy that studied Danion's case. Danion, D-A-N-I-O-N, died in his home. He got electrocuted on a phone line. And he talks about his experiences. I don't talk about mine. I don't really believe it's anyone's business. I talk to family about it, but there are way more things going on in heaven and on earth than the average person understands or would even believe. There's a war on for your eternal soul. That's what it's all really about. So my suggestion, love. Learn to love properly. That sounds so easy to do, and it's not. I still have problems. I was a police officer altogether, counting TAD with who I used to work for, about 30 years. Off and on. Street cop for a lot of that. I've seen the absolutely horrendous things that people do to each other. Learn to love properly. Now, I'm going to get off of here and upload this to YouTube, to my personal channel, and then I will try to deposit it on a couple of friends' private pages. And if they don't want to see any more of it, that's fine too. But you know, it really gets to me seeing people be mean to children, little children. So I'm going to part with this. The Savior made a statement. It would be better that a millstone's a big granite wheel that they made, and they cut a hole in the middle, and it sat on top of another big granite wheel, and they had a hole in it that they could pour grain down, and they'd have a mule or a donkey or a horse, and it would pull that thing around and around, and it would grind that grain, and the grain would come off into a catch area around the outside of that millstone, and that's how they made flour to bake with. But Jesus said it would be better that a millstone be tied around your neck and you were thrown into the depths of the sea than to offend one of these, the least of these. And he was talking about little children who had come up to Jesus, and they were gathered around him, and he was holding them, and some of his disciples said, you need to not be paying attention to these children like that. And that's when he made that statement. Don't offend the little ones. And folks, whether you want to believe this or not, abortion is definitely offending those little ones. There is no reason for abortion. There are those that say in case of rape, incest, or preserving the life of the mother. Well, about the only one I can think of are rape, incest, and preserving the life of the mother. But there are those that don't even believe those should apply because life is that sacred. Anyway, I got to get off of here, upload this. I've got a few more things I got to do in here. I don't come, this is not my man cave, and in case nobody doesn't know what it looks like in here. This is my office. It's where I come to make money, where I work. Yeah, even at my advanced, stricken years, I still have to produce income. Now, know this cripple, crazy, ugly old man loves you with my whole heart. I do. And I want you to have a blessed day. God bless you. I love you. And let's do this again sometimes. Bye.